Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your Muse Traci, and I am your favorite manifestation coach. I am here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I am now offering group coaching as well to help you transform and revolutionize your life in all areas. In my coaching programs, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to change the programming that is effectively covering up or masking your true nature. Most of my clients will stay with me 2 to 3 months to integrate all of these teachings. Some want to stay longer, some want to stay shorter. It's totally fine either way, and it really is up to you. I will take you through the process of cleaning up your programming. We meet 2 to 3 times per week, and in between sessions, you have email access to me. You have homework in between the sessions, the work, your own work to do in between the sessions. And it is a lot of hand holding. I guide you through this process in an intensive month. It's an intensive process, and I designed it that way. It's designed to create real transformation in every area of your life and return you back to your true nature of being an effortless and unlimited creator. If you're interested in learning more, leave me a comment down below. You can also send me an email, any questions you have, and I will respond to your email. I also just released a free mini course. You can find the link for that in the description of this video, also in the bio on the channel. And this course is explaining how manifesting a specific person is absolutely possible, why it is possible. Not only is it possible, you're already doing it all the time already with every person in your life, okay? They are showing up according to your expectations. Everyone is you pushed out. And sometimes those expectations are general, sometimes they're specific. So this course is great if you are still questioning, if you're struggling, if you sometimes go back to like, maybe it's meant to be, maybe it's not meant to be, maybe it's possible, maybe it's not possible. If you're ever doing that, this course is great for you. It's going to answer those questions so you can get that questioning out of the way because that questioning will not be helpful for you if you are trying to manifest a specific person. Okay, so we want to get that cleared out of the way so that you can get to the work of realizing your goals. And if that's a relationship with a specific person, you get to have that and you can manifest that. Okay. All right, you guys, so let's get into the video for today. Today, I want to talk all about your ego and if your ego is holding the role of CEO in your mind or if not. And this is such a powerful thing to think about and to recognize because your ego is not your friend. Your ego is, in short terms, limitation, doubt, fear, worry. It's basically your old programming that says, the reasons why you can't do it, why you can't live the life of your dreams, why you can't have the relationship of your dreams, the car, the money, the business, whatever it is that you really see yourself, the ultimate version of you see yourself as. But if it's not what your reality looks like, then there's programming in the way, there's beliefs in the way. Okay. Plain and simple. It's really not much more complicated than that because your desires are a promise, and the only thing that can be in the way of that is you. Not saying that for blame or shame. We don't do that here. Blame or shame is not helpful. But unbiased self-observation, super helpful. I'm not even going to call it helpful. It's imperative. You have to have the ability to look at yourself and see what it is that you are doing, because you're doing all of it. You're doing all of it. And before you knew this, you were doing it unconsciously on autopilot, just programming, blah, 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 things you picked up and learned from your environment. You didn't choose, I was going to say half, but you didn't choose probably 99% of it. Okay. So that's what I'm referring to when I say programming. It's all the stuff that, is in the subconscious mind, the belief system. It's the autopilot portion that, was not ever yours even to begin with, but it is there. Okay. And that's just a reality for pretty much 99.99999% of the population, if not 100%. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about programming. It's the part that we all learn at a young age. Okay, so your ego is protecting that programming because your ego thinks this programming kept you safe, kept you alive, is essential for keeping you alive going forward. So again, your ego is the part of your mind that wants to keep you safe, wants to keep you alive. It is literally only concerned with your survival. And again, your ego thinks that your survival is dependent on these limiting beliefs, the programming, okay? Now, you are not your ego, you are not your programming, you are not your emotions, you're not your thoughts, you're not any of that. You are the consciousness, you are the awareness. And so you get to choose what currently the programming is that should be running, okay? What direction you're going in with your programming, I guess is what I want to say. So your ego is going to try to keep you tied to the old programming, the limitations. And you, as the consciousness, your job is to, when you know about manifesting, when you know about law of assumption, when you know about Neville's teachings, your imagination is God. Your job is to step in and regain the control, the role rather, of CEO. Okay. And your ego needs to be demoted. Okay, your ego cannot, it thinks it has been running the show for a long time. Again, before you come into all of this work, before you understand your thoughts create, before you understand consciously that you should direct your thoughts, you are choosing consciously where you want to go now. It was just on autopilot, running. And so for a while, your ego has been running the show as if your ego is the CEO, the boss, the head honcho, the one in charge. You need to take back that role in your mind, okay? You cannot allow the ego to continue to feed you the limitation, the doubt, the fear, the worry, and, be a successful conscious creator. So it is your job to step in and regain the role of CEO of your mind, of your brain. So your mind is meant to be a power tool. It's meant to be mostly, pretty quiet, pretty peaceful. And then when you want to use it in order to create something new, a new intention, a new direction, a new project, you are meant to now point your power tool in that direction. That's really, in simplest terms, how it's meant to be. Now, again, because we didn't learn these things, because we have things called programming, limiting beliefs, all the, I guess I'll call it baggage, the baggage that we sort of took on. We have a little bit of undoing with the baggage, the programming, the limiting beliefs. This is what I'm teaching you in my coaching programs, is changing the limiting beliefs, working through the past, emotional blocks, emotional ties, to get your mind back to this state, this original state of peace and calm, and ready to be directed intentionally, consciously, in the direction that you want it to be directed into. So this is what you're trying to bring yourself back to, ground zero. And you have to, again, take over the role of CEO when your ego is flaring up. So in this process of changing beliefs, once you identify what your limiting beliefs are, the old programming, and then you start the process of changing them, your ego is not going quietly. Your ego is not just going to say, oh, we have a new belief now. Okay, great. No, your ego is going to puff up even more. It's going to fight back even more. It's going to throw you more doubts, more insecurities, more worries, more of the limitations that it knows you specifically will buy into, okay? Because It's in there. It knows all of your weaknesses, your fears, your doubts, your worries. It's going to throw those at you to protect the programming. That's why you have to get to know when it is your ego piping up, and you have to take back the role of CEO. This is where you bring in your intellectual knowledge. This is where you bring in everything that you know. This is what Neville's talking about when he says, now you have to be it. Knowing isn't enough. It's the practice of being it, bringing in the intellectual knowledge into the moment to combat your ego. This is where the real work is, you guys. This is where the transformation happens, okay? Because like I said, your ego doesn't just, look at you and say, oh, you have a new belief that you are magnetic and abundant and successful and, worthy. Okay, cool. No problem. Let's change it all up. Your ego wants to protect the old limiting beliefs, and it's going to protect it in any way that it can. Like, it's going to fight to protect that. So you have to bring in your intellectual knowledge. This is also the transition phase between the old belief system and the new belief system. It's not going to go quietly, your old belief system. It's going to fight tooth and nail. You have to be very intentional here, and you have to keep stepping in again and again in the role of CEO, okay? So what do I mean by that? How does a CEO act? A CEO kind of acts like a dictator, right? This is my company. This is how we do it. And please fall in line now. Or maybe not even please. Fall in line now. Kind of like, this is what we do. That's how you have to show up and counter your ego. You cannot show up to counter your ego with any doubts or insecurities. Think about if this is a CEO of a corporation of, let's say, 500 people, and all the 500 people have complaints and they have, thoughts about how it should be done, and we need it to go this way and it should be this way. Okay, let's just say the 500 people are all banding together and they think it should be this way, and the CEO shows up and the CEO is saying, we're doing it this way. The CEO cannot show up unsure. Well, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to try this way. The 500 people would pounce, okay, because they see weakness, they see doubt, they see insecurity, they see unsure. Nobody's going with that. They're going to fight tooth and nail, okay? So when you show up to talk to your ego in the process of transforming your belief system, you cannot show up in this way. Well, I think we're going to do it this way. I'm the creator and I'm creating everything. I think I want it to be so. You cannot show up that way. You need to show up certain of your new beliefs, and you need to speak with confidence to your ego. Demand. This is a dictator role. This is CEO. CEO shows up with the 500 people saying they want it one way. Well, if that's not what the CEO wants, this is the CEO's company. So guess which way it has to go? What the CEO says goes, as long as the CEO shows up in confidence. You show up in confidence, believing in what you're doing, the 500 people are going to get in line. They're going to get in line. They're going to follow. They follow confidence. They follow sureness. They follow directness and deliberateness. They do not, your brain, your ego also does not follow unsureness. I think it's this way. No, you have to show up like a boss, like a CEO. This is your mind. If you can't be in control of your mind, who can? No, you can. It takes practice. Okay, I understand. But you need to start to embody this role. This is my mind. This is what I now decide to do. This is what I now decide to believe. This is my free will to choose. This is now my belief system. Your belief system is a choice, ultimately. Okay, in the past, you chose it unconsciously. You didn't know you had a choice. But now that you know, choose it confidently. You don't need anyone to validate you. You don't need anyone to say, okay, yeah, you can believe this. You don't need that. It's your choice. It is a choice. So keep that in mind, okay? We're not needing validation. We're not looking for someone else to say, yes, you can decide this is true for you. No, you decide. If it resonates, and this is where you start to trust yourself, you start to believe in yourself, you start to have your own back, you believe in it, that's enough. It resonates with you, that's enough. This is what you want to believe, that's enough. This is what you choose to believe, that's enough. Now you have to show up with confidence and you have to show up with sureness. You are taking back the role of CEO, okay? This is how you want to face your ego. Bring in the intellectual knowledge. It's not enough to just know it. It's not enough to just know, okay, I'm creating everything, but my ego is still fighting me and giving me all the questioning, but I know I'm the creator. No, that's not enough. You got to bring that in to the conference with your ego, and you have to tell your ego what you intellectually know. Otherwise, your intellectual knowledge of being the creator does nothing. It's just some nice knowledge that you know about. You have no idea how to use it. It's not going to do you much good. You have to know how to use it. And this is how you use it. You bring it in. Have the faith. Have the confidence. Have the ability to say, this is our new belief system now. Okay? And even if it's not something you fully believe, understand what you're doing. Changing beliefs is a process. You have to go and choose the belief, the new belief, again and again and again and again. How long? I don't know how long. Some beliefs change faster than others. It doesn't really matter how long. Until it's changed is really the answer. Some beliefs will change with one choice. Okay, I believe this now. Good, it's changed. Some beliefs you will have to go and choose again and again and again. So how long does it take? It takes until you don't have to choose it anymore. It's automatic. But until that time is upon you, keep choosing it. Keep choosing it. Otherwise, you're not using the knowledge. You're not using your intellectual knowledge, and it's really not helping you at all. It's not serving you. It's just something that you know about, but you have no idea how to actually use it and to be it. You have to be it. We have to close the gap between knowing and being. There's a gap there. It's for all of us. I had to do this too. So don't feel bad if you have a gap between knowing and being. There's nothing to feel bad about. We're not blaming and shaming. But it's also really, really, really important to know if you have a gap. Know thyself. Unbiased self-observation, because if you don't know, then you think you know and you don't know why it's not working for you. You have to know thyself. Okay, knowing, being. There's a gap for me. Okay, cool. How do I close the gap? I got to close the gap so that my knowing and being, they're right here. It is one thing now, okay? So no blame and shame if you have a gap. It's normal to have a gap, but be aware. Know that there's a gap. I know this stuff, but I can't really apply it. I can't really use it. I can't really be it. Okay, you have a gap. Close the gap. It takes a little bit of time and practice, but you can do it. And you do it this way. You show up with confidence. You show up with, this is what we now are doing in my organization, which you are your organization, okay? In my organization, this is what we're now doing. And I am the CEO. I'm allowed to say that this is what we're now doing. Please fall in line. So this is how you guys handle the ego. Your ego cannot reside in the role of CEO. That is not your ego's role, okay? So you need to take back the role of CEO, demote your ego. They need to go back down to where they are meant to be, and you take the role of CEO. That is your role. All right, you guys, leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.